Hello there! In today's video I want to explore the first signs of spring with you. Apparently I'm far from the only one bringing a Brompton into the local train. On this day the sunshine didn't let me down. In this video I don't have to say so much, so please don't be bothered with me not talking all the time. Please also listen to the birds at times. I hope you also have nice weather where you are from and can enjoy riding your bike. I would like to go on my bicycle all year round, but when the weather is not nice, so when it's raining a lot or when it's just too cold, I'm having a hard time of enjoying it. Some people would say you need to dress up or dress correctly, but for me there's nothing better than having nice weather for cycling. Thanks again to everybody who let me know their experience with the Brompton Pentaclip, so the little part that attaches the saddle to the seat post on the Brompton. I've received a new one to replace mine, and since then the noises have become much less, but there were still some noticeable clicking noises sometimes, and I got rid of them by cleaning the seat post. At this point, some shout out to friends. Shout out to Desiree, who's in Japan right now. I hope you are enjoying your trip. And shout out to Chai, who wrote me on Instagram. I hope I pronounced your name correctly. In case you don't have nice weather where you are from right now, I want to recommend you my favorite film about cycling on YouTube. It's called Free Wheels East, and it's two cousins documenting their world trip on bicycles, where they don't use any planes to go around the world. And I love this film. I've watched it multiple times, and it's so authentic, I feel like. Partly because it's from an era before Instagram and all the big internet boom. I think it's from 2005. Yeah, and I just can recommend to watch it. After the workday was done, I did a little workout with pull-ups and dips, and then decided to get a beer to celebrate the nice day, alcohol-free beer. And I wanted to get the Augustiner alcohol-free, but of course it was sold out again, the hype beer. From here I went into the direction of the beer garden of Garching. There's first green in the trees, but I'm still waiting for them to become fully green. Can't stand a chance against well-equipped titanium bikes. On that evening I decided to go to the big hardware store to get some small parts. The small parts are often the parts that matter the most, right? Some screws for my new rack on my Panasonic. Some more shout out at this point. Shout out to David, who I met at the ISA one evening, and I hope we will have some nice bike trip in the future. And then also shout out to some friends from university, Adrian, Karl, Evie, Hannah and Paul. Here put in a little sprint for no reason. If you have never ridden a folding bike like this and think they must be slow, they are not. You can definitely ride fast on them if you want. Then later that evening, my girlfriend and I did a little trip to the river and enjoyed the mild evening. So nice to finally have not super cold evenings and mornings anymore. And some decent lights on the bikes are also always nice to have. Here's my footage about trying to get rid of the play in the saddle and the squeaky noises on the Brompton. I got a new pentaclip and this made everything way better, but still there were some sounds sometimes. So I decided to completely swap out the saddle. First, try out the saddle on a different bike to find out whether the saddle is the problem, and it wasn't. And turned out it looked really nice on my Surly. I would maybe even want to keep the saddle there. Anyway, so the remaining issue wasn't the saddle. In parallel I had mounted the original Brompton saddle to the Brompton. Very soft and not so comfortable in my opinion. I tried to capture the sounds, but again it was some squeaking or a little clicking. So I decided I had to clean the frame and the seat post. Was worth it, as you can see. After that it was all fine again. I'm so much more looking forward to ride the Brompton now. I was also finally able to install the Tubus logo classic in stainless steel on my Panasonic mountain bike. I had to remount the dynamo to this part here, and I'm happy that it doesn't come in conflict with my feet. Works just fine. And I have to say this is the best looking rear rack in my opinion. I love the design with these parallel rails or tubes. From eye candy to real candy, my girlfriend had made some cinnamon rolls for her work and she wasn't pleased with what they looked like. I also ate some of them and they were delicious in my opinion. followed was a little trip to the city center for some shopping. Munich is just awesome for shopping. I think you can spend all your money here if you want. So many nice places, big and small, or especially a lot of little stores which have really nice and unique and also high quality and traditional things. Thinking about some shoes, but I will stick to my German army trainers. Ja. Oh, and of course I spotted a lot of pretty bikes. I always have an eye for them. This here was really special because it had 650B tires. Very rare on vintage bikes. Also nice shifters on some bikes. At the University of the Arts we took a break. Also a break from all the people in the city center, and just sat there and relaxed. Later in the evening I did a little session of pull-ups again in the park. I just can recommend this exercise to anybody, especially if you have back problems from time to time. It's so nice to just hang there and unlock your back before starting even the first pull-up. I think the colors are just pure eye candy. This evening I went inspecting some used randonneur bike on Kleinanzeigen, so the German Craigslist. And I was thinking about getting this bike as some randonneur for gravel roads, maybe with 40mm tires. But upon inspecting it, these old randonneur bikes have often really tight tire clearances, so I think putting in 40mm tires with fenders, as I like to do it, would not work as I wanted. So I just saw this as a nice trip on my bicycle in the evening. One more reason to not get the randonneur is another bike I have. It's an early 80s Gazelle Champion Mondial, a road bike with first generation Dura Ace group, and I'm currently setting it up as my commuter for the full commute from my home to my workplace, to go there quickly. And it has room for 28mm tires with fenders, so I think that's quite nice. And yeah, I'm currently setting this bike up and hope to be able to show it to you soon. One last part I want to show you is how I get my coffee beans. As I mentioned before in one of my videos, I was pleased to find a coffee roastery in my neighborhood. Really something I wouldn't have expected before moving here. But turns out there is Fausto Coffee Roastery, and they have some quite decent beans, I would say. When getting back from there, I realized I had lost the dust cap of my FC MT60 cranks. Very annoying, like sometimes you really lose these little parts. I also recently got some Sun Tour power thumb shifters, and also one of them is missing one little D-ring for the screw to set the friction tension. But it is what it is. Sometimes little parts get missing and you have to deal with that. Alright, and we are coming to an end for today. I hope you have liked this video, and I also hope to see you in the next one. Thank you and bye bye. Just joking, I can't let the video end without some bonus material. Very fancy, unconventional and old bikes. Currently there's an exhibition in the Pinakothek der Moderne, which is a big museum in Munich, with a lot of bikes from more than 100 years of history. Beautiful bikes and very unconventional things there. Very fascinating to see, but at the same time it came to me that I wouldn't want to exchange any of my bikes with one of these because they all were a bit too freakish for me. But certainly an interesting sight and a must visit for me as a bicycle nerd. Definitely worth the experience. I have to say though that this handlebar setup kind of looks nice. Looks like a rad build, especially also with the chain protector there. And oh my, these leather bags look beautiful. The whole bike had some leather set up by some Italian brand. And at the very end, some bogus bonus material. This is what the Brompton telescopic seat post looks like with a Calloy 400mm seat post inside of it, mounted by a mildly infuriated me to desperately get rid of the little screeching sounds and little play of the saddle.